Bitcoin has a lot of hopium going on right now on the lower time frames, daily and under. You're going to hear a lot about it on crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube, but what you're not going to hear is what the larger time frame context of that smaller time frame hopium is. So what I'm going to do is show you that so you can have exact key levels on when that hopium and its sustainability becomes probable, the instant becomes probable, or the instant and the exact levels, and when you should simply forget about the hopium. You ready? Let's dive in.
Hit the like button
and subscribe,
or else let's go. The context of the hopium is this chart right here. I could even take off the tilted macro range, and we know that from my previous, month of videos that I've been screaming and hollering about this, price right now is truly trapped under the monthly 10. It's getting ready to enter this quicksand. Every time it does, it ends up coming to the bottom. That's going to be somewhere just above 20K. This is the context of the larger time frames. Stuck under the monthly 10, getting ready to become entering the capitulation sandbox. This is quicksand. Have you ever seen the movie The Never-Ending Story? Okay, Bitcoin price is that horse. I don't know if his name was Atreyu or whatever, the little kid crying. Okay, we're getting ready to step in that quicksand. That is the larger time frame context, but it looks like the lower time frames might want to possibly turn this around. What I'm going to do here is show you how this monthly open aligns with some other key levels. I will mark this off right at the open was 43,221, and when this month flips green, you might want to first off start by marking this line off about 43222. You want to make a straight line there, and you want to keep that on your chart for a little bit because it's going to end up being a key level in specific regard to when the monthly time frame flips green, when this month flips green. But you're also going to see how that also helps us in our other analysis that are completely independent but happens to align with this. All right, let's dive onto the smaller time frames and identify what this hopium is in general. But before we do, make sure that you're following me on Twitter at cosasverdes with the number 2 afterward, cosasverdes2. Feel free to join the Discord community where I have up to 8 live calls a week where you can turn on a camera and microphone and ask me questions directly straight to my face. And if online communities are not your thing, but you want exclusive content above and beyond what I offer on YouTube, click the join button that's right below this video. Another quick video will pop up describing your options to you.
Give me the thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah, that's corny. Whatever. All right, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you like these unedited videos. All right. The general idea here is that the monthly 21 EMA, which was the same line that made that greater channel in the screenshot that I just showed you, it's the same line, right? Bitcoin seems to be not only holding that as support, but it's also in line with the weekly 89. The weekly 89 and the monthly 21 are the same thing. So you have double strong support, but if it does break below it, that's double bad. Okay, so it's like double spearmint gum or whatever those commercials of the 90s with all the twins, right? Okay, this is a twin commercial of that double spearmint or whatever the hell that gum was that they made announcement or commercials on it for 10 years. But it's doubly bad for that reason, okay? And it's the exact same, like they are on top of each other. So I'm only going to represent it with one line. The monthly 21 EMA, the weekly 89. It seems to be being used as support along with a higher low structure. This is where the hopium is. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. In addition to, you throw on the daily RSI. This is not a bad looking structure, honestly. It almost looks as if Bitcoin is being rejected, from the neutral zone. So this is the bullish zone. This is the bearish zone. This is the more bullish, neutral bullish section. Looks like it keeps getting rejected, but it's using the bearish control zone as support with also a higher low structure. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And typically when you can get a rejection point, come back down and find support here, if Bitcoin can get above the white, let me zoom in a little bit more. If Bitcoin can get above this white moving average, have a 1-day correction, and then take back off, that would be Bitcoin in essentially the RSI's golden pocket. Is it a perfect golden pocket right now? Not necessarily, because the RSI is below its exponential moving average. And what could happen is just today and tomorrow are green, then it comes straight back down, and what you end up getting is something to this effect. this is still in the works of happening. It's honestly, potentially just as probable as not, right? Just as probable as the opposite. That something like this could happen. Today is green, tomorrow's green, then it comes right back down and then just falls flat on its face. That's still in the cards. That's why what I'm saying is it's not truly in the golden pocket until it goes above it and uses this as support, and then it could potentially take off. And this white line would be going something like this. The Hopium is still pretty premature, even on a daily perspective, with a bunch of our higher lows. But the Hopium is starting to gain a little bit more of the puzzle pieces. Is it enough right yet to? Right, that's great English. Is it enough right yet? All right, and I live north of the Mason-Dixon line. Is this enough evidence right now to be, full on bullish? I mean, no, definitely not midterm. I'm still midterm very bearish. However, I want you to keep an eye on this because this could brew into something with a little bit more steam where the evidence is an equal fighter with the evidence for the bearish case, right? But right now, the bearish case, it's a big bad, like it's a polar bear. And then you have some other, gummy bear over here, which is the polar. So we're still a gummy bear fighting a polar bear. Okay, and isn't this the best TA ever, gummy bears and polar bears? But I want you to understand the cases and the strength of it. The case for being bullish is not super strong yet, but we maybe have evolved Pokemon style from a gummy bear to like a sloth bear, which honestly, sloth bears are pretty tough. They can like take on tigers. It's pretty crazy, but they can't take a polar bear. Anyway, so this moment right here, if you can keep your eye on the daily RSI, that's when, I wouldn't say the tides would turn, but it could be if you get this, if you get a support here and then the next tick is up, or even something like this, a wick below it and then tick up, I would say, it's possible you got a 40 to almost 50% chance that there will be a rally above the weekly 10 EMA. Now, if you do get a rally above the weekly 10 EMA, which I'll pop on here in just a second, that's our major resistance points, or it's the first boss out of 3. So we have essentially in this journey of Hopium, you have 3 bosses, okay? One is the weekly 10 EMA. The second is the monthly 10 EMA, which is above it. The next one is the macro tilted range. Point of control is the last big boss. So we're playing Mario with only 3 levels here, each big bad boss, okay? But if you see Bitcoin price without using this as support, okay, the white line here, and price simply, and RSI simply goes straight up here without that retest, and Bitcoin price gets in this journey above the weekly 10 EMA, the big bad boss I'm getting ready to show you, that increases the likelihood that it's going to come crashing straight back down. If Bitcoin can first have a smaller rally, have a small correction back down, just a 1 daily red candle to retest some lower areas, and then price races up to meet these bosses, after this is initiated, that greatly increases the chance of this Hopium staying alive. Am I being clear with what I'm saying? Now, what are these big bad bosses? I will go to the 2-hour chart, and I will put on, maybe if my computer's going to work. There we go. So the monthly 10 is the white line. That's the second big bad boss. The first big bad boss is the weekly 10, so price has to pass that level. Right? If you're playing a video game, we're charging up, we're Mario, maybe even with a star, but once you get to the boss, the star doesn't do shit. You got to get above this line. Big bad boss number 1, monthly 10, big bad boss number 2. All right? And then I'm going to throw on my macro tilted range. And big bad boss number 3 is this. Let me zoom out. The point of control, this yellow line here, you see how it's in the middle of this macro range going back all the way from, 2020 roughly? Yeah, late 2020, early 2021. This is the point of control, okay? Getting above this and using it as support. That this area, though, is big bad boss number 3. And price is not officially, hasn't beaten the big bad boss number 3 until it uses it as support. So it gets big bad boss number 1, big bad boss number 2. But this is not passing the 3rd level. Passing the 3rd level is something like this. And right there, you use it as support and show strength off of it. You need to use it as support. Support. And the way this could work out is it could even be something like this. At this point here, if Bitcoin price were to go all the way up to 57K, this big bad boss number 3 has not been passed. I'm telling you, hasn't been passed until it's used as support. Just because Bitcoin price comes into the big bad boss level and like jumps over it and runs, I don't know, the big bad boss is still alive. Hey, you don't squash the big bad boss and kill it or whatever, get past the level until you use it as support. So that's the step number 3. Now, remember this line? I'm going to make this line, let's make it yellow. Or no, it already was yellow. Damn, I need to drink some coffee. My goodness. Wanted to change the color. It was yellow. Oh, let's make it yellow. Make it different. It's a great video. This is why I edit my videos, everybody. So you don't see how stupid I am. Anyway, but you can see how this this line, if price can get above this line, okay, in any way, shape, or form, doesn't matter how it gets there. Once it's above that pink line, maybe I can make that a little bolder. Bam. Once it gets above that pink line, the month flips green. And look what this is aligning with. Big bad boss number 1, that would be in line with using big bad boss number 2 as support or just getting past it. And the month flips green. Therefore, and so that this is the importance of it. If the monthly candle of March can flip green halfway through, March is going to have momentum. And Bitcoin has already gotten past big bad boss number 1 and 2. And that's exactly when the momentum. So it's almost like you power up after beating those bosses and you're a heck of a lot stronger going into the third boss. This could develop quickly. Okay. Right now, it's definitely premature. This bullish Hopium is definitely not anywhere near probable at this time, getting ready for a rally. It's not probable, but it's definitely brewing. There is something to it right now, could easily fade away as I show, and the way you would easily see that is, viewing things such as the daily RSI. If price just goes back below that white line that follows it, the moving average, okay, this is going to fade out really quickly. You'll be able to see it very, very fast. Let's get back to these charts. And that's the cool thing about this, though. This line means momentum will be up exactly as 2 of 3 bosses, and that would help Bitcoin. I mean, honestly, potentially get all the way up to 50K, possibly, in this Hopium. And again, I'm not calling 50K. I'm not making any call. I'm letting you know it's improbable at this point. But this is the exact level, okay? The monthly opening at 43,222, 43,222. That's when there is, the tides might be turning a little bit, not for a bull market. I'm not saying this is like the 50% chance of bull market, but rather a 50% chance where whatever rally is getting ready to happen, that it's going to be sustainable. So this is the sustainability point. Okay. And honestly, you would want to see it used as support too. This line, you probably want to see it used as support, but once it flips green, I mean, that really is when the momentum kicks on. It really, really does, even without support. But I think the moment where the rally has a probability of being sustained to some degree is when the monthly open line is used as support on something like, even the 1 hour time frame. Okay, it gets above, and you see a 1 hour, 1 hour candles get above, come back down and test it, and then start heading back up. You maybe test it as support twice. That's when it is probable the rally will continue. Until this point right here or here. Okay, until these 2 points, until this area here, anything, that is happening, it is improbable. But this is the magic line where the probabilities flip, and you do have an edge. You do have a little bit of an edge. All right, is it guaranteed to keep going? If you see this happening at the monthly open line, which is this pink, and being above big bad boss number 1, big bad boss number 2, is it possible that it just spills right on over after that and there's a whole fake out? I mean, it's possible, but it's not probable at that point. I'm trying to show you the exact moments where probabilities flip. Okay, now, and of course, the moment where the Hopium really starts running dry here is when, if price can get above, if you see 1 hour candles or 4 hour candles come back below and use it as resistance, that's when you should probably give up that Hopium, even though it did get above for a minute, the monthly candle flip green for a second. That would be, some people call that invalidation point, but I just want to call it a probability flip. That's when your probabilities flip back. So it's possible all within 2 days, on these hourly candles, 4 hour candles, whatever you're looking at, that probabilities flip one way, then probabilities flip the other way. But that's why it's okay to switch regularly your short-term time frame outlook. It's called short-term time frame for a reason. It means your outlook on it should change, frequently. That's what it implies directly, right? And so I'm showing you it is possible that you do get a little fake out, but I think this situation right here in and of itself isn't likely to happen, but this would be a case where probabilities flip one way and then they flip back to the way they were before this happened. It is possible, but this line is magical. This is like your mega probability line here. It's a big, big deal, I'm telling you. And it happens to align with two big bad bosses. It's going to be a big thing, all right? And so for new viewers, something else that's going to help you out drastically is if you know how to set up a chart like mine, maybe save templates. If so, check out this playlist right here. It's going to help out your crypto journey a lot. And anybody else who missed my larger time frame context of the bearishness, my video from Sunday, you should watch it. Click this video right here. It's going to help you get an understanding of Bitcoin price a lot better. You just got Timified worldwide. Peace.